Well, good morning. It's good to be with you on this Thursday morning as we continue together in our time in Luke. Hope you are well. I've had a good week. Things are good. Um, little housekeeping. We'll be here today, tomorrow, Monday. Office is closed for Dr. Martin Luther King Day. I probably won't. Probably won't put out a rooted that day. Um, so just be aware of that. So regular schedule tomorrow morning and Friday morning, and then we'll be back on the 20th. So just I like to keep you up to date with scheduling and where things are. So today we're gonna finish out Luke 21. With I did some reading. I try to always I have a couple commentaries that I use when I'm teaching rooted. And today's passage was one that I really wanted to kind of dig into a little bit for my own personal learning to make sure I was understanding what it was saying. So let's read verses 29 through 38, the last verses of Luke chapter 21. Then he told them a parable. Look at the fig tree and all the figs. Look at the fig tree and all the trees. As soon as they sprout leaves, you can see for yourselves and know that summer's already near. So also, when you see these things taking place, you know that the kingdom of God is near. Truly, I tell you, this generation will not pass away until all these things have taken place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. Be on guard, so that your hearts are not weighed down with dissipation and drunkenness, the worries of this life, and that the day does not catch you unexpectedly like a trap. For it will come upon all who live on the face of the whole earth. Be alert at all times, praying that you may have the strength to escape these things that will take place, and to stand before the Son of Man. Every day he was teaching in the temple, and at night he would go out and spend the night on the Mount of Olives, as it was called. And all the people would get up early in the morning to listen to him in the temple. So this is kind of the this is often called the Olivet Discourse because it's tied to the Mount of Olives. This kind of concludes Jesus' teaching, honestly, because from here on out, the teaching Jesus is going to do, and there's still teaching to come, but it's more teaching to the disciples. This passage here kind of ends the it's kind of the end of Jesus' public teaching portion of Luke's gospel. Like I said, there is more teaching to come, but it's more private, more tied to the disciples. And he wraps it up, like obviously talking about his return and the end of all things. So we see I use for my reflections my Wesley Study Bible, and I really you've heard me say before the Wesley Study Bible is my favorite study Bible there is because the notes are going to always come from a Wesleyan perspective, written by Wesleyan scholars. So it's this is the Bible that I use for my own personal, not my personal devotional so much as my rooted, and when I'm researching for a sermon, I always start with this Bible that I keep right here on my desk. That's where it lives most days of the week. Um, but I like what the note says here. It says, one does not have to be an ancient historian to recognize the central concern in Luke's gospel is not to create a detailed schema of past and future history, but to discern how one is to live. On that issue, the gospel is clear. Be alert at all times. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that really is. If you want to summarize the teachings of this portion of Luke's gospel, I think that's a good way to put it. Be alert. Be ready at all times. Be on guard that your hearts are not weighed down by dissipation and drunkenness, the worries of this life, and the day does not catch you unexpected like a trap. So be alert. Keep your head on a swivel. Always be. Don't miss life. Be aware of the living of life. Be aware of your purpose in life. Be aware of your calling. Be aware of his return. Don't live lives of stupor, lives of being absent from the living of life, but really be alert. Be aware. Look, see. always be ready for his return, but always be ready for the ways in life that you can serve him because we get so focused on his second coming, on his return. But friends, if we're going to be honest, each day we miss his coming to us in the form of the least, the last, and the lost. One of the central themes of Luke's gospel, the least, the last, and the lost. So we spend so much time getting ready for his second coming in the heavens and the culmination of all things that if we're not careful, we'll miss his second coming each day when he comes to us in the poor, when he comes to us in the broken, when he comes to us in the least of these, when he comes to us in various ways that we don't expect. We can see him. We see him we look for him rather in the skies, in the heavens. But do we look for him in the streets? Do we look for him in the intersections, in the crossways, in the crosswalks? Do we look for him? So, um, this gospel tells us to be aware, to be alert, to be looking for where we will meet Jesus. And so today, as we go about our life, that's a good encouragement for us is to be looking because most times Jesus comes in ways we don't expect. Jesus will often come to us in people we don't expect, in scriptures we don't expect, in conversations we don't expect. And if we are not alert, if we're not looking, we'll miss it. We'll miss what he longs to say to us. We'll miss how he longs to say it to us. We'll miss his coming. So don't do that. Don't do that. Pay attention. So he tells us here, you'll see the fig tree, when it sprouts and whenever it begins to bloom, we're in summer. So be ready. Look for the signs. Look for the signs in the heaven. Look for the signs in the earth. Always be ready for his coming in the heavens, but always be ready for his coming day to day in each moment of our lives. I think about all the times in my life when I got so busy doing tasks. As you know, I've got them. Here's my to-do list right here. I keep my planner open on my desk most all times now. We all have so many things to do, so many tasks. If you have children, if you have grandchildren, if you have work, we have a lot to do. And sometimes we can be so busy working on the task of our life that we forget to focus on the task of our life, which is following Jesus. My mom used to always say, if the devil can't make you bad, he'll make you busy. And sometimes we're so busy doing things that may even be important things, worthwhile things. And the devil will take business that's good, sometimes as good as business that's bad, if it draws our eyes off Jesus. So when we get so busy doing stuff for Jesus, we don't always have the energy or the time or whatever to pay attention and look for Jesus everywhere and every day. Be alert. Be alert. Be looking. Be looking for the second coming of Jesus. In the clouds, they'll be looking for the second coming of Jesus in the poor, in the needy, in the broken, in your neighbors, in your coworkers, in your children, in your grandchildren, in your parents. Be looking for how every day he comes to us over and over again. Be looking for the ways that we can serve him, that we can commune with him, that we can love him, that we can be at peace and at love with him. So be alert because every day we will find Jesus if we're looking. Well, thanks for being with us today. We're going to pick up tomorrow with Luke 22. We're kind of rounding the bend and we're turning now towards the cross. So we're really gonna get pretty serious about seeing Jesus go towards the cross, which will be pretty good because we're getting close to, it's hard to believe we're close to Lent. So it'll be good words to kind of get our hearts ready for the coming days of Lent. So hey, thanks for being with us today. Have a great rest of your day. See you in the morning.